Begins anew for Resident Evil fans as a new title has been announced at Summer Games Fest once again. But even with the new, there's a much awaited return to the classic, namely the underrated Resident Evil Code Veronica. Launching in 2027, most likely by March 31st to fit the company's fiscal year, Resident Evil Veronica kicked off its reveal in unexpected fashion. No break in through Umbrella's Paris facility or slow mo, Matrix like action sequences that are impossible in the actual gameplay. Instead, it begins innocuously enough as Claire Redfield arrives at the building where her brother, Chris, has been staying.
The sister of the man on the third floor. Ah, welcome to Paris. It's so nice to meet you. Oh, it's freezing. Come in. Come in. We don't want you to catch a cold.
Led upstairs by a kind old landlady, she discovers his flat in disarray with papers, a DSLR camera with telephoto lens, a walkie-talkie, a personal recorder, and an ashtray on the table. He also seems to have a sweet tooth if the box of Delice de Marquis on the side table is any indication. What makes this entire scene interesting is the landlady revealing that she had cleaned the place a week prior, which means Chris popped in for however long and left again, seemingly in a hurry. It's like a boulder rolled through here, she says, in the least obvious kind of foreshadowing yet. After departing to make some coffee, Claire is left alone and hears a knock at the door. Opening it leads to her being held at knife point by, as the official website puts it, the Umbrella Special Forces unit responsible for the incident. Since it refers to the destruction of Raccoon City before this section, you can assume they're the same incident. From here, she's taken in and transported to Rockford Island, and the rest should be as you know it. Another outbreak turning the island's residents into zombies, the Ashfords family's influence, and the fate of Alexander, the 6th Earl, among other things. Except it may not be so cut and dry. Besides the fact that the website touts this as a reimagined storyline, there's the obvious gas mask wearing elephant in the room. Hunk. If that is indeed Hunk. He wasn't in the original Code Veronica. However, for those who played the Dark Side Chronicles, which featured a condensed reimagining Game of Oblivion, there was a report detailing that he did visit Rockford Island. Carrying a large-scale BOW capsule, he noted that it was stored at sub-zero temperatures per Alfred's request. However, he questions why his team, a highly trained unit, is assigned to what appears to be a standard capsule, and relayed his concerns regarding his team's safety, especially if the contents are potentially harmful. No guesses for what or who is contained within. While the development team may include this particular instance in the remake, perhaps it serves as inspiration for Hunk to have a bigger role. Given his reemergence in Resident Evil Requiem for a short but fun fight, you have to wonder if maybe there are bigger plans to expand on his overarching lore. Then again, it could just be a case of throwing him in for a surprise rather than doing much more with him, especially if rumors about Albert Wesker and the HCF having larger roles and more story scenes turns out to be true.
I didn't realize I was such a big fan. I'll have an autograph.
Of course, this does raise other questions. How did Umbrella know that Claire would be there? Were they actually stalking the location and waiting for Chris and just got lucky? Did Grandma sell him out? The original made it clear that he was already under surveillance. And what's the walkie-talkie for? Who's he been communicating with?